We here. I need y'all to go over there and make sure we coming through loud and clear. What's up? So we just getting everything situated right now. So we about to get this thing started. I have my fellas in this space with me. What's up, people? What's up, K-Ball?
What's going on?
Yeah. Let's do this, man. To get everything set up, the sound, to get right. Let's do it.
What's up? Over there. Yeah. Crispy.
Are we coming through?
Coming through crispy.
Wrap it up.
All right. So let's get into this thing, man. It's about to get live. We keep it pretty level, no surprise. Come and listen to the topics bustin'. Yeah, check out our discussion. Keith Norris and D2K. K-Bump 20 on the MIC. Jet I night all the way in Germany. Leveled head, you know who that boy is. But it say live and level, live and level. We on that MIC. Live and level, live and level. We just talking them games. Live and level, take a seat and listen up, man. Live and level, live and level. What's up, people? This is your boy Levelhead back with another Live and Level Gamers podcast. You know who it is. Let's get it in. We got my boy K-Bump 20 in the internet. Keith Norris is in here too. I almost forgot how to say. I was about to say D2K, but what's up, people?
What's up?
Let's go. What's crackin' lacking?
What's up?
All right, man. We here. We rest to go. So we got a little bit set for y'all tonight. If you can hear me loud and clear in the chat room, put a 1 down in there. Put a 1 down there. You put a 1 down into the chat. So what's good, people? I mean, we are here. We are back. We got a lot to say. We got a lot off our chest last week. No more Nintendo slander.
What's up?
No more Nintendo hate.
What's up?
No more Nintendo bashing.
What's up?
No more Nintendo.
Wrap it up.
Okay, I'll wrap it up. All right, so let's get into this thing.
Well, I can't give no promises, but yeah, let's do that.
Well, that's sad, K-Ball. Don't do us like that tonight. But we here, so anyway. So we're going to get into our first part of this. What you been gaming on? So, K-Ball, what you been gaming on, bro?
So basically, I've been still sticking with the 2K. It's mostly what I've been gaming on. Trying to grind, get my player up, get my stats up. I did download a new game, so let me go ahead and say that. I haven't played it too much. I'm kind of playing it right now, just messing around with it. But just downloaded new FIFA. So FIFA 22. I just got that. I haven't played too much of it, but playing just a little bit because I've been focusing most of my time on NBA 2K. But yeah, still now and then get a couple games in FIFA when everyone else is, occupied. So that's pretty much the only new game I've been playing is FIFA 22, and it's cool. I mean, it's I think it controls a little bit better than last year, so that's a plus. The PS5 version is totally different, and so I have to spend some time on that trying to understand how to play that because it's completely different. But
is it true they're going to change the name of that?
I heard rumors about it, but I don't know how true that actually is. But there are rumors about them changing the name of FIFA. I don't know how much merit those actually have.
Okay. I see D2K up in here. What's up, bro?
What's going on?
What you been gaming on, man?
Well, I think we talked last week that I was going to have a chance to play the Halo Infinite
Yeah, I've been waiting for this.
beta test. Yeah, so last week Friday, I started playing it. There's a couple of things in terms of getting this set up. They have two modes. They have a performance mode and they have a quality mode.
And this is for what the last gen Xbox?
No, this is for the game itself.
Oh, okay.
This has nothing to do with the box. Because I have the One X. I don't have a Series X. And when I started playing it, the first board I play, I don't remember the name of it, but it's like a rundown cityscape. It kind of reminds me of Turf from Halo 2, but the buildings are kind of like a clay color rather than like a drab gray color. But it really reminds me of that board from Halo. If you remember Turf from Halo 2, then you know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
The quality version, I'm not really sure what it does, because for me the visuals look the same on quality mode and performance mode. All I know is that when I was running it in quality mode, it was only running at 30 frames per second, and I'm not even sure if it was
An
that
online
high.
shooter
Yeah.
at 30 frames.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I'm not even sure if it was. I know that the frame rate was steady. There were no drops or hiccups, but it just didn't. It's just like it just kind of. I'll get to it, but when I put it on performance mode, then it was running at 60 frames per second, and the graphics, like I said, to me they didn't change. They looked the same. So I'm like, I didn't really understand that. Maybe that's something that'll be more of an effect on the Series X version, but I guess me having just the One X, I guess it's just pushing it as far as it can be pushed anyway. From a visual standpoint, it looks pretty good. I mean, there's nothing to shout about. But, I mean, it looks okay. This is definitely nothing revolutionary to where this is going to be the flagship title for the most powerful console on the planet. There's nothing about the visuals that tell me this. As far as the gameplay, I have to say that it's hard to pinpoint. To me, it feels more like Call of Duty.
What?
Yeah, it feels more like Call of Duty from the standpoint that the gameplay is very frantic and fast. Everything is very fast. Because if you go from playing that multiplayer and going back to playing Halo Master Chief Collection, it's a world of difference in speed.
Really?
It feels everything is. One of the problems that me and my friends who normally play Master Chief Collection keep saying is that it just seems like stuff that we used to be able to do on Halo back in the day we can't do anymore. It seems like we're just a second or half a second behind everybody else. And certain functions are not the same. Like melees don't have as much power, and shotguns don't have as much power, and rocket launchers don't have as much power. And it just seems like, what's going on here? This one, everything happens the way it's supposed to. If I do a shotgun melee, they're done, and that's the way it should be.
So the time to kill is shorter.
Time to kill is much shorter.
Okay.
There's
Similar to Call of Duty then. Okay.
Yes, it's not one hitter quitter to that level with Call of Duty, where if you get shot, you're done. That's it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Call of Duty. Yeah. Once you realize you shot, you're dead.
Yeah, it's not that bad, but it's
Okay.
close. It's close.
Okay.
They added a few things like before with Halo, you could kind of crouch while you're jumping and try to make certain jumps that are a little bit too high. Now they added the ability where you actually can jump on a ledge and pull yourself up.
With a
Yeah.
button?
No, I mean, it's like when the jump button, you tap it again. Like when you get to the edge of something, if you tap the jump button again, you'll pull yourself up instead of you just missing that ledge or whatever. The sound is amazing. It sounds the guns sound really good compared to previous iterations of Halo. It's gonna be strange to say this, but it doesn't feel like Halo, but it does, and it's not a bad thing. I think the things that work with Halo, that retained the things that people said that Halo needed, they added. it was a lot of fun playing. I enjoyed it, and I like the fact that they added some type of feature, which is almost kind of like a nonstop rumble pit where you can just play against bots and just get your bearings and figure out how to play the game before you actually go into multiplayer and just refine your strategy. I just think it's just called practice. It's just you set up a board and you just go around. You just go against bots all day long, and you just kind of learn how to play. If you never played Halo before, now you can learn how to play without being in real time with real bullets. Because the one problem with this beta is that all the elite players of Halo, the people who are out there in the e games and stuff like that, they were online too. So yeah, so it was somewhat hitter quitter things going on out there because they were out there. But once the game actually comes out, then they'll be able to matchmake you with people who are on your same level, and it won't be as you know uh, hopeless in some matches. But yeah, I think it's not where it should be, but it's still pretty good.
So it's
Okay.
still fun to play.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's definitely fun to play. Absolutely.
Okay, that's good because we can dog on the graphics all we want, but if Halo's fun to play, then that's great.
Okay, we
They come
gotta
a
wrap
long
it
way
up.
since Greg.
We gotta wrap this up to get to the next person. We don't stay here too long.
Wrap it up.
All right, Keith Norris, what you been gaming on, bro?
Same old, same old. Kina and still playing Psychonauts. Reason I'm still playing it because I got some other stuff I'm doing, but same games, man, same games. But got that Metroid coming tomorrow. So I already got that
I
thing
was just
coming,
gonna
man.
ask you. You getting
Man.
it? You getting it tomorrow?
Man. Oh, most
you,
definitely.
You dirty dude. Okay, I guess I gotta
Oh,
get
most
it.
definitely.
I guess I'm
Man.
gonna make the wife mad and go and get it. Ah, God. Anyway, for me, same. Man, I've been playing on that Kingdom Bridge of Spirits and what else, man? That's it. That's it. So,
Wrap it up.
all right. So let's get to this next thing. Our first topic, and we ain't doing that. So turn that off. Turn that off. Turn that off. Turn it all off. All right, now. So we're gonna go to this first topic. IGN, right? And I'm gonna change my background so that we can look at this.
Uh, something like that. Oh, man, I had. Yeah, like Monday, I think. Yeah.
Five.
Alex. Alex. Look, Alex. Yes.
You are really missing something if you think Tony Hawk don't deserve to be up there. Okay, okay, you really missing something. Just like you love Vendetta, not Vendetta. Yeah, the wrestling game, the Def Jam. Tony Hawk was bigger than that, way bigger. Yeah, you miss it. You ain't about to talk about Tony Hawk. I spent many of hours playing
Hey,
Tony Hawk.
Tony Hawk was a game.
Many of hours playing Tony Hawk. But go ahead. Come with Tony Hawk like that. Mm-hmm. Portal. Sid Meier. Sid Meier. What's that for? Ew, how did that even get up? Like flag is trash. You don't believe that yourself. Shut up.
It's number 4. Legends of the Ocarina of Time is number 4.
It's the
I'm
first
just,
seed though.
I'm just saying it's the 4th seed.
This first seed is a good. That's a high seed. What you mean?
It
By a
deserved to
game.
be there.
Wait. Hold on. I know you want to be mad, but there have been so I don't think there's a game that have been remade so many times than Skyrim. I don't think there's a game possible that's been remade and done as many times. But Skyrim is popular. People have been buying the same Skyrim game for like 4 generations of games. They just keep putting it out there.
Similar. It's similar to Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, they keep buying it.
Yep. Man, Diablo. It's a side-scrolling game, I think. No, no, no. It's an EA game, I think. Do I feel like there's any games? I was reading the criteria as he was going through this, and I was trying to figure out why they wanted to span across all generations because I think that's kind of unfair. I think there's some newer games that's missing. I couldn't tell you which ones, but I do think there's some newer games like Super Mario World shouldn't be on this list. I get it; it's a great game. Super Mario Brothers 3 shouldn't be on this list. Those are gimmies, in my opinion. They're not really beating anybody. But there's a lot of great games that we have, you know, going past those levels, and I don't think they should be on the list. Like if Mario 64 had won this, everybody would have a problem. So I don't know, man. I just don't think they should have did all generations. But I don't know why I'm looking for The Last of Us 2. I think The Last of Us 2 is better than the first Last of Us. I think that should have been on the list.
Huh.
Yeah, Last of Us 2 is a lot better. The story is better, the graphics are better, the gameplay is tighter. Uh, just an overall better game. Look, is Mario 64 here? Oh, there it is. There it is. There it is. I see it.
And it,
I think The Last of Us 2 deserves to be on this list. I, I think.
man,
Slime rancher.
first of all, yes, but no.
I love
But
it.
um, I have to before I can even really answer that question, I have to lead in with the fact that you have to remember that this is a list based off of a select number of people's opinion, and it's an opinion based poll. That's why I have no respect for polls. They mean absolutely because there's so many games like I don't see nary a Mortal Kombat on here, no WWE games, no Mercy, no Here Comes the Pain, no. I mean, I can sit here literally all night long as adding games that should be on this list and taking games out. Um, I, for the life of me, cannot understand how Batman Arkham City can beat out Mario 64. That just makes zero sense whatsoever.
Arkham City, was that the second one or the third one?
Second, the second.
The second one? Okay.
You know, but I mean, I can't. I'm not angry about anything that's on this list because, like I said, this is all based off of somebody's opinion, and this list literally means absolutely nothing. It's just interesting to look at what games that they chose and the seating that they put them in. It seems like they could have rearranged this a better way. I know they had their reasons how they seated everything. I mean, it looks like it's going from like 1 to 16, and they broke it down into four quadrants, if you want, if you will. Um, they try to do like an NCAA tournament type
Yes.
thing. I think
Yes.
they kind of screwed the pooch a little bit on this, but it is what it is. Based off of what we actually have here, I mean, it's just a lot of stuff is like, really? Really? I mean, what are their criteria? I mean, are they going off of sales? Are they going off of a mind share? Are they going off of pop? I mean, what is that? I
Well,
mean,
I don't
what
know
is
the initial 64. Like I don't know what the initial 64. How did they got that list? Basically, I mean, you could went down the list of like games that won Game of the Year and kind of put that together, but I don't think that's what they did.
right?
But I don't know what the initial list of the 64 was done by, but the voting was done by people. The initial list, I'm not sure how that was generated.
Yeah, but there's 8 billion people on this planet, and they didn't ask everybody.
Well,
They ain't
I'll
talking
talk
to
about
me.
it my portion. I'll talk a little bit about it my portion because I wanted to talk about that. I'll wait.
Yeah, go ahead. Mm. Well,
I'm picking. I'm
well,
picking Arkham City anytime, every week, anytime. I don't care. I yes, I would. Yes, I would.
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know who said it in the group chat, but it is a lot about being. I think you said it, level. It's a lot about people being prisoners of the moment. You have to think about who exactly did they talk to in terms of this list and the voting, and where were their mindset at, what were the age groups, what type of games did they like to play, what type of games do they think are important, what type of games do they think meant the most to the gaming industry, or which games actually had more of an impact. It's just too broad of something like that to go for something like this. You're always going to get a mixed bag when you go something like this. Can't gauge everybody's opinion accurate. That's why I don't like saying this person or this thing is the greatest of all time, because you cannot pinpoint that.
So, um, I I don't know about games, man. Well, the thing is this, and I'm gonna tailor this. It's a very hard job to list greatest games ever because, sir, I reclaim my time, reclaiming my time. As I was saying before I was rudely interrupted, it's a very hard thing. So even IGN coming up with this list of greatest games ever, it's a very hard job to take the generations we've been playing video games throughout Nintendo's, Atari's, and televisions, PC, Sega Saturn, Dreamcast, PS4s, fives, the Xboxes, 360s, One, Series X, whatever other number they come up with in letter combination, Nintendo's, Switches, 64, Super Nintendos. It's a very hard task to get 64 games out of that long, even arcades, Pac-Man, and getting a list of 64. They will always get it wrong. What
Yeah,
was that? Uh, Yeah, they will.
And
Pac-Man easily should have been on here because it is one of the greatest arcade games ever made.
Donkey Kong.
And Donkey Kong, absolutely. And so
no,
the thing,
okay, wait. I get it. But are we really saying that?
No, no,
yes,
they're no,
yes,
they're
Pac-Man,
say-
yes, sir.
they're saying that. They're saying that they said best video game of
Game
all
ever.
time.
If you're just waiting on if you can play the game now, that negates all the old game. But if you go back to the feeling, what was that? Well, no. I'm saying if someone is saying that if it's not playable now, well, that negates the old games because some of those old games aren't really that great now. But my thing is, if I go back to young K Bomb 20 playing Super Mario Brother 3, I thought that was one of the greatest things ever. I have countless hours of fun playing Super Mario Brothers 3. And in my mind, and it's still nostalgia, but to me, that was one of the greatest games I've ever played in my entire life. So, but we do though. We do. We do. We that's always
Titanic.
Oh, Casablanca or something like
Casablanca.
that.
No,
Or no. Gone with the
Movie.
Wind. That's what you.
Gone
That's
with the
what,
Wind. It, it, it wouldn't make my list, but yeah,
well, 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 a lot of that has to do with if you look at the actual adjusted
money
box
made.
office gross and you
Yep,
actually adjust for
for
inflation,
inflation, it's
Gone
still the
with the
highest
Wind would have been the biggest movie of all time.
by far. By far. I'm not done, but you can. I'm, right. Yeah, right.
I gotta.
Because he is. Yeah. Yep. Robert Ory got more rings.
No, Bill Russell got more
Bill
rings
Russell.
than everybody.
Testing. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I heard. I turned up the podcast, and I did hear D2K, and I did hear Keith.
Yeah, you didn't hear me? You should be hearing me.
I turned it back down before I heard you. I heard you earlier.
Okay, yeah, you should be hearing everybody. Everybody coming through on me. Let me do this real quick, make sure. All right, so we hear Keith as well. You don't hear me?
Okay. Yeah, I heard you.
Okay.
Well, hold
you
on.
hear me?
I heard you. Let me check. I think I heard you, Level.
Yeah, don't let me not be. I'm not really hearing level. Not really hearing level. Let me make sure I'm up loud then. Okay, so
We good now.
now we do. Okay, maybe I had something separate. Okay, so my point is, when we look at this list, we are being a prisoner. I was going to make my Michael Jordan. We say Michael Jordan is better, but we have technically seen better what Michael Jordan did in his day. What we have to look at for Michael Jordan, as eloquent and magnificent as he was as a basketball player.
Let's stop. Let's not even open that.
Let me say it though. Let me get it out there, T2. Let me put it on out there since it came up. Yeah, I got to. I'm in the water now, man. I'm under the waterfall. I'm wet. What gonna say it?
It's kind of different though.
We've seen.
Just let him say it.
Yeah, let me say it. Jordan, I believe Jordan is better than Kobe. I believe Jordan is. I would give Jordan GOAT over LeBron, but I believe Kobe did things that Jordan never did, and LeBron has done things Jordan never did. So, just because another game is doing something that Mario 64 didn't do in his time, does that make it better than Mario 64? That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
So
yeah, I get it.
I don't say I don't think Kobe is better than Jordan because there's some things I'm pretty sure Kobe did because he took what Jordan did and added other new developments, new skills, new approaches to the game that Jordan probably didn't have. Like he added he shot threes better than Jordan, but Jordan them didn't shoot threes in his game. So does that make him better than Jordan? No, you wouldn't say he was better than Jordan. That's my point. Some of these games
are not Jordan. They're not Jordan. So you just named a lot of players. You just named a lot of players, a lot of great players. They're not Jordan. And are you essentially saying that God of War is Jordan? Here's my take on it.
Okay.
This is different. We could talk about movies because movies are honestly they're timeless. Yeah, there are things in them that are archaic as far as like old technology, CGI, film grain. But I think movies are different because this is something that you actually physically have to touch and play. I'm not playing Mario 64 over Batman. I'm sorry. I love Mario 64. I gave Mario 64 all the flowers from the day that it was released to now. But if I was stranded on the island and those are my two options, I'm playing Batman. Period.
I'm with you. I agree.
So I get it. I respect and I love what Mario 64 has done for the industry, for 3D gaming as a whole. But that's a gimme. Anything against Mario 64, from the point that Mario 64 came out, beyond that is going to beat Mario 64. Anything beyond, like before that, like Tomb Raider, the Crash Bandicoots, I think they came out before Mario 64. I don't know. I could be wrong. All those games, no, I'm playing Mario 64. I get it. I love Mario 64. I'm playing Batman. Man. Then this whole list is not fair.
It's fair because that's the parameters that they set for us.
Okay. Sure.
They set this up for us. They said when you say greatest of all time, you gotta take all the hits that come with that. Like you were saying earlier, they should have broke it down into categories or time frame. Instead of saying greatest of all time, what was the greatest game of this decade? What was the greatest game of of the 2010s or the 2000s?
Hey, wait, hold on. They say there's no audio right now.
What?
Yeah, I don't see anybody popping up on the screen either. No one's names are popping up.
It's about
we giving y'all gold too.
It might be me. Can you hear me now? I think I'm doing that. I can't. I can't move the screen around at the same time. I can't mess with the screen. I'm trying to mess with the screen and it ain't let me and hear us talking. So if they can hear, mainly just leveled. Okay, so I won't move the screen no more. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think you're back because I see your name popping up on the screen when you're talking.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna let it be.
So, yeah, we all should be back.
I don't want to mess this up. No.
They said you out there knocking out a cord.
Okay. No, I'm trying. I keep trying to move the screen around so we can see these different things. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull it up on my computer and then hopefully I can do it that way. I can't, so I'm not gonna worry about it. But go ahead, go ahead, K-Bone. You was talking.
No, actually, I think it was Keith finishing up. I still haven't finished my point, but I think it was Keith still talking.
No, I was finished. I was just saying that. No, I wasn't D2K. But anyways, I agree D2K that they should have broken down by at least years or generations or something.
It was
like that.
D2K. You're right. So.
Yeah, I agree with that. And then we could have put that year's best game versus such and such.
Right, and since we talked about Jordan, that's kind of like what he said when everybody comes up to him and say, "Oh, you the GOAT," and he's like, it's not fair to call me that. I mean, I'm pretty sure he believes that, but he publicly knows what to say to save face, and he said that it's not fair to call me that because I never played against Kareem in his prime,
and Dr. J
in his prime. I never played against Oscar Robertson in his prime.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It's not fair to say somebody is the greatest of all time unless it was some way in an alternate universe, a multiverse, that you could take every single person, the best people from every single decade that wherever existed, put them in a tournament against each other and see who comes out on top. That's
new
way.
Space Jam. There we go.
That's the only way that you can definitively. Yeah, what if? Exactly. That's the only way you can actually get a definitive, real greatest of all time. Everything out of there is just speculation. And like we were just saying, the best way to really do it is to break it down by category because you have a finite, set of criteria to work with. Mm-hmm. Last 10 years, okay, who was the best? It was LeBron. It was KD. Steph. You know who to work with. But if you start going all the way back to the beginning of the NBA, now it's a mess. So the same thing with gaming.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead. Who's coming in?
Yeah, I was still trying to finish my.
Okay. So let me send these shots out first though. Before you get it, I want to send a shout out to Rage and Banana D2, DK, LT 1984. How you doing? And who else is in here? That's it. Okay, so I got y'all. Thank y'all for keeping us clean and coming through. Go ahead, K-Bob.
Yes. So the piece I wanted to add to the conversation, and we've kind of stripped this debate down to its very essentials, as identifying that it's very hard to do what they're trying to do. But another key note, looking at the results, another key note that we have to understand. Looking at all these games being newer games, kind of being in the top 4, is that you have to understand who voted. I believe, my understanding is that you had to go into the actual IGN webpage and vote. There's a certain amount of audience that is actually going to IGN's website and clicking around and voting. Before we started even the chat, I believe we talked about how we used to, back in the day, be a big fan of IGN. We used to go to IGN all the time, and I don't think any of us would say we've frequently visited the IGN site even in the last maybe 5 years, maybe longer than that. So you have to understand that this is probably a newer age audience that is going on IGN's website and making votes, which is going to by the group of people that are voting, being newer gamers, is going to sway the results, because you're not going to have people that actually played Super Mario Brothers 3 when it came out. You're not going to have people that played Mario 64 when it came out. And so by the nature of who's voting, you're going to skew and sway it to the newer type of games. And so that's one thing you have to take into consideration. It's not everyone didn't. We all wasn't. It wasn't a central point that we all kind of thought. It was IGN, right? And it has its own type of community and audience. And from my time, I don't know how much has changed, but IGN's community was never that friendly to Nintendo.
It's about to get.
And so, and that's just understanding the results and looking at it. That's one thing that I kind of take from the results that was derived from the voting and the tournament that was set up.
Okay. Any other thoughts? I'm trying to get the screen back to where I had it originally since I pulled that up. So let's get to the main.
I have one more.
Go ahead.
I was just surprised there was no real sports games in here. That was surprising.
That's another thing. I mean, no Maddens, no 2Ks, no
Triple play baseball,
no lives.
RBI baseballs. There was some really
not a sport game.
No,
well, Tony Hawk. That's
I
mean, that is a sport.
Not at that point in time. It wasn't a sport. A sport, it has to be scored. No, it has to be scored. Skateboarding at that time was not an actual sport. It was a recreation activity, but it wasn't a sport. Sport has to be judged and scored. At that point in time, I don't think skateboarding was.
I think know. That's why we have Tony Hawk.
I don't think it was a sport at that time. I think it was skateboard. I don't know if they were doing competitions at that time. Maybe they were. Maybe I'm wrong.
I mean, they didn't start doing it in the Olympics until like recent.
Yeah, not Olympics. I'm talking just locally. Maybe they were. If they were, then yes, it's a sport then. So you might be right. Maybe that's the only one.
I don't know. I mean, hey, I guess we lost my background.
Yeah. It's been a sport since the 1960s.
Okay. But then I stand corrected.
I want to. I don't know what happened, but it took it off. But anyway, I want to talk about this. The champs, the who won, and if I can, I don't know what, and I'm too scared to do too much because I don't want the audio to go out.
Well, I have the final four if that's what you're looking for.
Yeah, I got it back here. I can look at it. I just didn't want. I wanted to pull it up, but it ain't letting me do it. So I'm gonna look at it. Apologize for the black screen, people. So y'all gonna have to just bear with us tonight and just look at our avatars pop up. But okay, so, and I don't want to stay on this too long because I want to get to some other topics. My whole thing is, like, I feel like my other issue is I don't think Super Mario World should have been going up against Super Smash Bros. I think I don't know how they did this. I don't know if this is legit in 1 through 16, and it just so happened to be Mario World and Super Mario, because I see a lot of Nintendo games, and maybe this is my bias, but I see a lot of Nintendo games facing off against other Nintendo games, and I thought that was kind of like a little janky. So, but Last of Us was here. You said Last of Us 2, but the Last of Us was here. Halo 2 versus Mass Effect 2. I don't think, K-Bum, I think you would have chose Mass Effect 2, but maybe somebody would have chose Halo 2.
Over Halo 2?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You don't know? Okay.
I don't know.
Uncharted. Uncharted 2 versus Grand Theft Auto 5. I don't know. I don't know. I don't agree with some of this. I don't agree with a lot of this, to be honest with you. And I definitely don't agree where it ended. I think God of War 4 is a great game. I think Grand Theft Auto 5 is probably the best-selling game ever. But far as the greatest game, I think I can name some other games in here that I would have put over it, and y'all could do the same. I probably would have. I think Breath of the Wild should have beat Grand Theft Auto 5. That's my personal opinion. I might be wrong in that. I don't think Grand Theft Auto San Andreas should be on the opposite side, like Grand Theft Auto finna face off against. I just think this is prisoner of the moment, man. A lot of these titles shouldn't be here. I think if you're gonna put Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, then Grand Theft Auto 5 shouldn't be there. But there's a lot of Marios here, so I might be being biased. Go ahead.
I know. Some of the Grand Theft Auto, San Andreas was remarkable for its time. So it's
Right,
kind of
I agree.
It's kind of hard to leave San Andreas out. And what 5 has done for this longevity, it's kind of hard to leave 5 out as well too. There's not a lot of games that have multiple iterations of themselves. But if anyone deserves it, I do think Grand Theft Auto deserves it. Looking at its impact and how many copies of itself that it how many times it's sold. If anybody deserves that, I really do think it's Grand Theft Auto, because it's only
Which one? Both of them? Both?
No. I'm just saying, if anyone deserves multiple variations of themselves, multiple variations of the series, of the franchise,
right.
I think Grand Theft Auto deserves to have multiple versions of that franchise in this list, just because of the impact that it had. There's not too many games can stand tall like Grand Theft Auto has over time and been such a cultural phenomenon.
And I don't have a leg to stand on.
It hasn't been watered down.
I don't have a leg to stand on. I really don't have a leg. I don't have a leg to stand on, honestly, because there's Super Mario World, there's Super Mario 3, there's Super Mario 64. There's a lot of Mario up here, so I don't have as I look at this, I really don't have a leg to stand on against Grand Theft Auto, 2 Grand Theft Autos being represented when there's literally 3 Mario games represented in the list. There's 2 Zelda games, at least 2 I see Zelda games represented in the list. 2 Metroid games represented in the list. How
is Burnout 3 beating out Chrono Trigger?
Bruh, you tell me.
Because these kids have played Burnout 3 and not Chrono Trigger, I guess. That's kind of my take on it.
Yeah, thank you, Rage of Banana. She said at least we can hear y'all, so we good. Yeah, I don't know what happened. I don't want the sound to leave, so hey, we're gonna be a true podcast tonight. All ears, no visuals at all. But anyway, so man, okay. Do we want to wrap this up? Do we want to stay with this? Do we want to move on?
Let's wrap it up, because I think we can stay on this for another hour. But I don't believe we're going to do any justice or any positive to this. So I think we probably should move on, because we can spend easily time on this, but I don't think there's too much true value can be derived from this. It's just it's a tournament, it's a poll, it's people's opinion, as D2K has put it so delicately.
Okay, so I can open this up and let y'all look at this the rest of the night. At least y'all can see something. I don't know what's going on, but anyway, so let's go to the next topic, and that is Ubisoft washed up? Is Ubisoft washed up? So, again, shouts out to Mr. Norris supplying us with the good topics for the night. So he put an article up in our Hangout, and I'm going to go over here and pull it up real quick. And I guess they was doing a review or assessment of the games that have been coming out from Ubisoft over the last last few years. And the sentiment is on Kotaku. And the sentiment is Ubisoft's formula seems to be wearing thin. And I agree. I think Ubisoft, I ain't gonna say all of, they got some gems. They got a few gems that I think are still pretty good and they can do some interesting things with, because they're like Mario versus Rabbids. I think that game has, this might be my bias showing up. Hey, First Name Basis up in the building, man. Let me get you up in here, man. Welcome to the show. First Name Basis. Okay, so do y'all feel like Ubisoft is washed up? I'm gonna come back to you, K-Bum, then I go to you, D2, at the K-Bum. Do you feel like they let me read this again. It says Ubisoft says, Kaku said the Ubisoft formula seems to be wearing thin. And they was talking about Assassin's Creed Valhalla was the last year's best game and arguably home run moment in a multi-year project to transfer the action step series into a full-fledged open-world RPG that could measure up to its genre-defining rivals. Everywhere else, however, Ubisoft seems to be hitting singles or strikeouts. Do you agree? I don't think Valhalla was much of doo-doo, but doo-doo. So I don't even agree with what they said about Valhalla. So, K-Bum, is Ubisoft... Can you think of the last game you've been excited for from Ubisoft?
Okay, here's my statement on Ubisoft. What genre of games that they do that you look for Ubisoft to do that they do better than everyone else? What genre of game?
Nothing.
Well, Nintendo, you can say platformers. Sony, you can say at least the story-driven games. Xbox has their shooters. EA at least has sports games. 2K has sports games. Rockstar has open world. What do you? And even some of the other guys have the kind of niche that they have. But what do you go for Ubisoft? And you've already said it. There's nothing they do better than everyone else. To me, Ubisoft is always trying to catch up with everyone else. Ubisoft don't do things first. They do things second and third, and they try to capitalize on the wave. Okay. Right? The Division was to capitalize off of Destiny. Now Ubisoft has a game to capitalize off of Call of Duty, right? Even their frame, their game, most of their games now are just remakes, man. They have so many remakes; it is ridiculous now, and I don't get it. I don't understand it. But they have so like Far Cry 6. You have all of the Assassin's Creeds. You have I said Assassin's Creed already. The Ghost Recons, all of the Ghost Recons, right? You don't have an original thought from Ubisoft. Even in their prime, they were doing remakes when they had what was that game? The Ghost Within. When they were doing my favorite game from Ubisoft, which is the Sands of Time. Mm-hmm. What's that? Prince of Persia.
Yeah, Prince of Persia.
Prince of Persia was one of my favorite games of all time. The first Prince of Persia, and then they went into remake mode, remake, and then they went into let's remake the remake, and then they just ruined my favorite series. Ruined it, just ran it into the ground. I believe Ubisoft's has been running thin for a long time now. It's not just now. It's been wearing thin for a long time, and people are holding them up to it because they are some of the worst offenders of just making a sequel or making the same game but just throwing a different setting in, and it's pretty much the same game. So
they still make Wii games.
You say still make what?
Still make Wii games. That dance. I swear, I think I saw Dance Dance Revolution or something for Wii.
That's what Rage and Banana. She said dance and party games, and they do.
Yeah. Thank you. Yes. That's what they do better than everyone else. Dance and party games. Okay. That is magnificent.
All right, wrap it up. Let's let somebody else get in here real quick because I'm trying to keep.
Yeah, I'm about to end my point because there's no more to say about it. Because if I keep talking, I've been summed it all up. I think they're thin, and I think they've been running things for a long time, and people are just not. People have been so focused on EA that they haven't had a chance to dog Ubisoft. But Ubisoft deserves every bit of dogging as anyone else, because they still have games like Beyond Evil, which they've been saying for the longest that they're going to do, that they still haven't done. They keep showing it every generation. They show Beyond Evil, and they never do anything with it.
They ain't got nothing to copy from.
You say what?
They ain't got nothing to copy from. That's why.
I mean, they set a lot of bars. Well, let me shut up because I feel like they win. I think they don't. Anyway, let me shut up. I say what I got to say when it's my turn. D2K, go. D2 go.
Yeah,
Are
go
you
ahead.
done? Y'all go ahead, D2K.
Yeah, I'm done. Just like Ubisoft, I'm done.
You said Keith.
I said
thought it was
Keith.
you.
Go ahead, Keith.
I'm gonna be quick. K-Bon, he pretty much said it, but I gotta read like two quotes. If you go to the Kotaku article, Waypoint, he says, the guy from Waypoint, he says, Far Cry 6 is creatively and morally bankrupt. This isn't a
No, I said G's.
Right. This isn't a review of Far Cry 6 because honestly, I can't play this ish anymore. I just can't do it. And then he went on to say it was fun when I did it the first time in Far Cry 3, which came out in 2012. It was a little better, but the same when I did it in Far Cry Primal. It was entirely boring and unnecessary when I did it in Far Cry 5. The fact that Far Cry 6 thinks it can essentially deliver the exact same game a decade later is just depressing. Goodness, woo! Listen, I'll talk about Ubisoft every time I get on the podcast. I think they have some of the more, especially when it came to Nintendo consoles, they were always one of the more creative people coming out with Red Steel and all these different types of games. Like, I wish they could just fine tune those types of experiences, but like K-Bon eloquently said, they love to remake, and slap a different number on there. I don't like when they started doing annual release of Assassin's Creed. I was like, oh my God,
Lord have mercy.
what are we doing? You know, they, and then everything seems like Assassin's Creed ish. You know that game, that game that we got level with the Phoenix. It's Assassin's Creed ish. Mm-hmm. I don't play the what's the game, the shooter games, the
Division,
Rainbow Six. I don't play those.
Rainbow Six, Ghost Recon.
But I would assume that they're kind of Assassin's Creed ish. Here's something on the map. Go look at it. And it's pointless. It's heartless. It's soulless. There's no point in playing their games.
Oh, soulless. But that's a good way to describe Ubisoft games. Is soulless. That is absolutely
soulless. They're pretty. They're very beautiful games. And they had that one game with the ships. Like, come on, man. That was like they literally ripped it out of Black Flag and made a whole game from it. And it's like, ugh.
Yep.
Who wants that? Then they got the one game, the fighting game. I don't know. Ubisoft, I think they do too much. I think that's what the issue is. They do too much instead of focusing on a single or maybe even 2 or 3 projects that they really should focus on and really get the best out of those games, get the best out of the consoles of that generation. But like they just copy and paste, and it's obvious that their games are hollow. They are hollow. Like, let me go in here. There's nothing in here. There's no furniture. There ain't no kitchen utensils. There's no beds in here. But the house on the outside look good. But there is nothing on the inside, and that's Ubisoft.
Wait, before you move on, I want to say this piece because I don't think a lot of people know this piece. You do know that Assassin's Creed was supposed to be the first Assassin's Creed was supposed to be a remake
of.
It was a sequel of Prince of Persia.
Yeah, that's right.
What?
That's right. That is
the original Assassin's Creed.
I didn't know where he was going with that at first.
It started off as a spin-off of Prince of Persia.
True.
So even their flagship game right now, hold on, a Freudian slip. Their flagship game.
That, boy. I was gonna let you slide, but you said it. Came on up here dropping them.
Look, I was reading and trying to be very careful too.
I was
trying to be very careful, and he slipped up.
That brother said that.
But the truth will come out. The truth will come out.
Their flagship game was set up to be a remake. That itself screams of what Ubisoft actually is at its heart.
K-Ball did try to slide past that so slick though. But no, what was I finna say? All right, go ahead, D2K.
Well, I mean, to piggyback off of that, it seems like some of their best titles usually come off of something that was intended to be something else. If you remember, a Zombie U for the Wii U was supposed to be a game called Killer Freaks from Outer Space.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And when they first showed that at the 2011 conference, people looked at that and they were like, I'm not sure what this is about. But then they reformatted that into Zombie U, and it actually turned out to be one of the better games for the Wii. So they have done some good things in the past, but the company itself, just their philosophies, I mean, they are kind of morally bankrupt, as the guy was saying in that article. I'm not a fan of them. I've always had an uncomfortable feeling watching them on stage. A lot of the stuff they put on there has a lot of imagery that's incorrect or I don't want to go too deep in it, but just stuff that makes me feel uncomfortable personally. And a lot of their games, just a lot of sequels and Assassin's Creed is definitely a game franchise that didn't need to be an annual thing. That makes no sense for any franchise of that ilk. You can do that for sports titles, but you can't do that for action adventure. It makes no sense. You need to take your time.
Yeah.
You hit on something I was finna say
like
too, D2K. Go ahead though. You hit on something I was gonna say.
Yeah, that kind of lost it for me. I mean, they've been washed for a long time. They have some gems here and there, but they just really don't have that impact that they used to. I mean, it's too much more about money and not about experience. And that's what the problem with a lot of companies today is that they look at the bottom line. They just want to pump out things so they know that we're going to go out and buy it regardless if it's good or not, instead of just saying, from an artistic standpoint, let's give them the best experience we can possibly give and give them the gift that keeps on giving, rather than just pushing out things just because, well, it's Assassin's Creed, so they're going to buy it anyway. And again, we have to look in the mirror and blame ourselves because we keep go out and buying these Assassin's Creeds over and over and over. And I got Assassin's Creed Valhalla free because I came with the either the GPU or the CPU that I bought. I got a free voucher for it, and I didn't enjoy it at all. And it was free. I didn't even finish the game. I played it like maybe a day or two, and I was like, yeah, I'm good. So, yeah, they've been washed for me for a long time.
Okay, and if y'all curious what y'all watching, this is Guilty Gear Strive for the PlayStation 5, and it's pretty dope. Anyway, D2K hit on something that I agree with. Ubisoft tried to become EA Sports because they tried to make Assassin's Creed an annual game, but you basically taking the assets and just repurposing them every year and just putting a new skin, a new protagonist in there with a new, and but it was basically the same game, changed around here and there, but you basically making the same game. So it is lifeless. It has no heart. It's more or less get this stuff out and let's get what we can get for it. And then that kind of became their whole philosophy for all their games. And then when they would have something like a gem like Division, I thought Division was a gem when we first was playing it. I enjoyed it. Then they'd come back and they just keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. You want more of this. Oh, you like that? And it's kind of how it is. Oh, you like that. So they keep giving you the same cake every day. It's like like you meet a girl and you tell her that their pie was good. And that wasn't a good one. That wasn't.
Whoa!
Oh my god! Oh my god!
You got me slipping up, your head slipping up.
I can't even say. Well, I was gonna say. I was gonna say cake, and then I was like, that ain't gonna come out right. Then I said pie. I was like, that's even worse. But y'all get what I'm saying.
Worse.
My point is, you say.
No.
3, 2, 1. Go!
Okay, so it's like you compliment their food and whatever they made was good, so they start making it every time you come over. It's like, I know, but you can't make nothing else. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of what Ubisoft did. We told them something. Assassin's Creed was good. Oh, they like Assassin's Creed. We gonna keep making more Assassin's Creed. Because they like it. We're going to give them another keep giving that Assassin's Creed because they like it. Then when you tell them, I don't want no, I'm good on this Assassin's Creed. No, you liked it. Remember you told me how you liked it? You told me that was your favorite. That's kind of what Ubisoft was doing to me. And like I said, anytime they find a gem or something they do good, they going to wear you out with it. Let's Dance. Is that the name of the game? Just Dance. They wear you out with it. Just Dance. They just dance you to death. Then every year we tell them we don't want to see no more Just Dance on the stage. They're going to bring out even more dancers on the stage. Like, did you even listen to anything we said? And this is how they hold you. They give you a game like Good versus Evil. Show you this immaculate trailer, and we ain't heard nothing from that game since. They give you a Siphon. No. What is it? Siphon Filter? No, it's not Siphon Filter. It's
Tom Clancy.
Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell.
There he is.
They give you adult Splinter Cell. Then you won't see Splinter Cell no more for a long time. But you're gonna get Assassin's Creed every year. And that's what they do, and that's how they give you a Red Steel. They give you a Red Steel 2. And then don't bring another. Why? Because it did our last. Zombie U, which was an awesome game. If you had played Zombie U, it's a good game. But you ain't gonna see. We didn't make enough money, so you ain't gonna see another Zombie U. So that's what they do. If it don't make it, it's almost Nintendo does it sometimes. That's why we haven't seen a F-Zero. We haven't seen some of the games that don't make as much money. But they're going to keep bringing us the games that do, like Mario, Zelda, Mario Kart, Smash. But at least I would give this to Nintendo. You going to get that once a system. You ain't going to get 15 Marios on one system like Assassin's. Why do we need... You shouldn't get no more than 2 Assassin's Creed a generation. We don't need 5, 6 Assassin's Creed in one generation. That's ridiculous. You don't see Naughty Dog giving us 5 Uncharted's in one system's lifespan. So Ubisoft, I think they try so hard to compete with EA and try to become the number one that they kind of watered down and kind of oversaturated the market with their games to the point that you don't care when you see Assassin's Creed. You don't care because you've been let down too many times by that franchise. Just like, you kind of get with Madden. You like, I can skip Madden every other year. I don't need to get this Madden this year. So I think they like that. But sports games you can do that with. You can't do that with a supposed 50, 60, 70 hour game. You can't do that. So that's my
I've pinpointed the time frame where I believe Ubisoft went to complete trash. And that is 2012, 2013. That is when they started to do yearly games. Mm-hmm. Before that, they were still making good games. The Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell series was still good. Prince of Persia was still doing good at that point in time. That's 2010. You still had new games that they were doing. There was a driver game they came out with again. And around that, before that time frame, they was doing stuff like, Scott Pilgrim. When you get closer to 2012, you start to see them do 2 things. You see them start doing yearly cycles of some of their games, and then you see them start to make games that everybody else is doing, but it's just now Ubisoft's version of it. And it's around that time frame where I believe that they kind of went to the crapper and started to just produce games for the sake of producing games instead of producing games that have heart and soul and have a creator. Even EA goes and find some new creators with some new vision to create a new game for them, right? Like, we don't even know if there's other development parties that do Assassin's Creed. At least Activision lets you know, hey, this is a whole different team that does Call of Duty. This is Sledgehammer, or this is Infinity War, or this is whatever other team that does Call of Duty. At least they're giving them different development companies that have their own vision, their own insight on how the game should be. and they produced their version of Call of Duty. At least you have that, right? You don't even get that in Ubisoft because it's just Ubisoft, right? And this kind of has this global vision, so you just get Assassin's Creed in Far Cry or Assassin's Creed in Just Dance. I don't know if that's true. That's just throwing that in the wind, but you get the point, you know. And so that's kind of the issue with them. And the perfect definition, I think Keith said, and we said it before, it's soulless. Their games have no soul. There's no heart of the creator, and that's what made God of War 2018 so great. Is that you felt the heart of the creator through the game, and you felt it. You felt the soul and the energy of the actors, and it's just soul. It's just another mindless game with mindless actors created to make money.
Let's wrap it up. Move on to the next topic because I don't want to keep. We right at 1:16, so I want to get out of here by 1:30. Let's go to this other topic.
3, 2, 1, go!
Okay, so I was thinking about Game Pass. There's a lot with Microsoft right now that I want to talk about, but we don't have time. We can save some of this for next time. I want to talk about the whole Dolby Vision, some of the stuff they're doing there. But I really started to rethink Game Pass, right? Now, let me set this up right. When Nintendo coming with the N64 Sega Genesis bundle plus pack for their online, I got to thinking, and we talked about this before, but I kind of want to revisit it. Should Sony and Nintendo embrace a Game Pass, their own, like create their own take on Game Pass? Like, especially I would say Nintendo, because I believe they have the games, and to do that, should Nintendo and Sony embrace a Game Pass like feature on their respective devices? Keith, I ain't heard you in a while, so I'm gonna throw it at you first. What you think about that, bro? Because I think Game Pass, I think because Microsoft ain't doing what we want to do for as new stuff, I think we tend to avoid talking about what they actually do well. And I think they're doing this well. I think this is the right approach. And I don't think everything they do, I don't think they should put all their games on everywhere. I think they should hold some exclusives to the Xbox Series X and Xbox Series S. But as far as what Game Pass is, I think it's the right way to do it. And I think the other two companies can learn something, just like they added online and voice chat, like another companies Nintendo still haven't, but Lord knows they'll get it right at one of these days. But everybody else follow suit. Do you think Game Pass should be something they should incorporate, like in their own way on their own systems? Go ahead, Keith.
They have. They actually have. Remember, Nintendo Switch Online is going up because they're adding in N64 games and Sega Genesis games. So in a way, that is their version. I mean, they still got the Super NES and NES games. It's just not new games. It's just not games that we would want to play. And Sony got, what is it, PlayStation Online or something? I don't know what it's called.
There's two things. I'll touch on. I can touch on. There's two things that they have.
Okay, but yeah, PlayStation got a version. So they do technically have it. It's just not as good as Microsoft's version. Microsoft version is like A1. Like, that's the model you want to follow. But they do have it. I just think that they need to add more games. In the case of Nintendo, they got to stop starting over, every generation. Like, if we don't get a Switch next generation, are we really going to sit here and talk about Mario 64 again? Are we really going to sit here and talk about the original Mario game? Like, oh, look what we got. Like, you had it on the Switch, just carry it over. So that's in that regard, then yes, they do need it. They need to stop bringing that back out as if,
Keith, I think they had something better on the system that failed.
Miiverse
and all that was.
WiiWare.
WiiWare, and then Wii U.
WiiWare was incredible.
WiiWare was incredible, but I think what they had on the Wii U was incredible too.
When they using, not Origin, it was some type of system they were using, and people were making a lot of games. But go ahead.
that, well, like the Miiverse, how you had that personal experience in the games and all the stuff that was, came with that. Well, it wasn't under Miiverse. I guess Miiverse was a different thing. But I think Nintendo. Anyway, I cut you off. Go ahead. I talk when it's my turn. Go ahead.
Yeah, but Nintendo thing. I tried that PlayStation one. I haven't tried it in years. The streaming was terrible. But yeah, PlayStation got a similar version of the cable. I was going to go deeper into that. But yeah, I agree with you, Level, that they do need these. This is where we are. The Netflix of gaming. This is where we are. If they don't have that, then you are already at a loss, in my opinion.
Okay. Let me send a shout out to Chariot Man Gaming. Welcome to the show, bro. Yes, it's been a while. It's been a minute. Metroid Dread. Yes, Keith has already beat me to the punch, but I shall get my Kool-Aid tomorrow, and I shall sneak it into the house and just so casually put it under the cover of the TV because I don't want to get hit. Anyway, Mr. D2, should Nintendo and Sony consider embracing, and I know they have their own ways of giving you older games and letting you play their older generations of games, but I like how Microsoft is doing it. They kind of got a Netflix approach to it. I don't know if the others can really do it. I don't know if they can afford to do it, but if they could, which they probably could, do you think they should create their own variation of that? Go ahead.
Well, before I get into that, I have to say that this Nickelodeon Smash is fire.
That's out. It's out too. And guess what? I was gonna bring this up, D2. Nintendo think they slick. I didn't even notice. I was watching a video and the dude pointed this out. That direct for the last character in Smash Bros. Came out on the same day that this game released. It's October the 5th. This game released, and October 5th was when Nintendo had their last Smash Bros Direct. So that was strategic. They looking at this game like, fellas, we got some real competition here because this game look amazing. But anyway, I'm playing this. If you wonder why this stuff is playing, something happened to my background, and it won't let me pull it back up. So I just figured I'd give you something else to watch while we talk. So go ahead.
I have mixed feelings about this, and I don't think we have time to. This a friend of mine have been kind of going back. Well, not back and forth. We've been talking about this for a while about the actual real benefits of Game Pass for developers. A lot of developers are starting to feel like Game Pass is not a good option because they're not getting the kickbacks from the revenue that they probably promised or where they thought they were going to get, and it's becoming not worth their while in the long run to do Game Pass. To add to that, if things like Game Pass and other online gaming services become the norm, you're going to basically create a place where people can hide in mediocrity. The determination and the drive and the incentive to really make the best robust gaming experience is going to disappear if we go to this type of subscription-based gaming format, because you're basically just trying to put something out there for people to play, and it's not like this game will stand alone by its own. It's in the pool with everything else. Mm-hmm. So it's like, you got this game, you got this game, this game, and this game, and you have our game is part of that package. The package is Game Pass. The package is PlayStation thing. The package is a Nintendo thing. Individual games don't stand out anymore. So certain developers might say, you know what, we don't have to try as hard because we're not trying to be, stand out in the crowd. We're only getting a certain amount of money from this anyway. So why should we try as hard as we normally would if we were just getting all the money or most of the money just putting it on the console by itself? So from that standpoint, I'm not sure it is a good thing in terms of new game on a subscription service. Now, as far as games that have already been released, absolutely. There's no reason why anybody should have to pay a dime for any game behind the Switch.
Okay, I got you. Okay, I see where you're going now. I like this. Go ahead.
There's no reason why anybody should have to pay for NES, SNES, N64, GameCube, Wii U, DS, Game Boy, any of that stuff. Should all those games should be on a subscription based service, and you pay $19.99 or nine or whatever it is they want to charge per month or per year, and you get access to all of that. Same thing with Sony. Whatever they have, and I'm not sure if they set up this like if it's set up like this. All the games before the PlayStation, yeah, I said this before PlayStation 4,
Okay.
should be available to play on a subscription service. You just pay a certain amount of money every month, and you can play all of that. But as far as the new stuff, I think you should just maybe leak out a title.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go!
K-Mon, what you got to say, bro?
Oh, okay. So, first, I wanted to start off by saying that Xbox does backwards compatibility better than everyone else. They've been doing that better than everyone else for a while now. I say that even before Game Pass, because even previously when I booted up a version of my I didn't boot it up. It had a record that I had bought Mass Effect 3 on the Xbox because I did play my Xbox. It had a record that I had booted up Mass Effect 3 on my Xbox, and so I was easily able to download Mass Effect 3, and it even had my save file that I had. That is backwards compatibility done right. Right? And I give them kudos. They do it better than everyone. Period. And I will give Xbox credit for that because they do. But as far as Game Pass is not equally the same as saying backward compatibility. It is a select games available, curated for people to play with a monthly subscription tied to it. So it doesn't require any previous ownership of the game. It's just only thing you have to do is pay the monthly fee, and you have access to these games.
Okay.
I do have some agreement and disagreement with. Well, I'll touch on that last. So the other question you said: should Sony and Nintendo do this? Sony has a version of this in two forms. They have PlayStation Now, which is a collection of PS3 and PS4 games that you can play via their streaming service. And also not recently, but for a couple of months now, maybe a year now, they've added the ability to be able to download these games. So you don't have to stream them. You can actually download them. And it's the PlayStation Now, so there's a monthly subscription. And you can play PS3 and PS4 games, and even PS5 games, a couple on there, via their PlayStation Now service, which is similar to Game Pass, but not as great as Game Pass. And they also have something called the PlayStation Collection, which is a selection of newer games. So you have Last of Us, you have God of War 4, or God of War 2018. It has Detroit Being Human. It has Ratchet and Clank. And I actually utilized this service when I bought my PS5, and I played some of these PS4 games that I never actually got a chance to play, and this is the first time I actually played Ratchet and Clank was using the PlayStation Collection, and that was the first time. And I actually played several games from that PlayStation Collection, which was free because of my ownership of the PS5, and I thought that was an excellent idea. And there were several games I got a chance to play, and so I will say yes, I do think that Sony should do or maybe even market a little bit better, or do a better way that like Xbox is doing with their Game Pass. They're doing it the best with their Game Pass. They're doing it better than everyone else, and it is clear. And they're putting it front and center. But something like PlayStation Now gets little to no publicity. And it does a similar fashion, and has been doing it longer than Game Pass. doing the monthly fee longer, doing the download longer. It's just not as popular and doesn't have the heavy hitters that the Microsoft Game Pass has, but it's doing it in a very similar vein. But I do think that the Sony system should have a very similar thing as Game Pass. It doesn't have to be a one-to-one, but if they do it a little bit better, have newer games on there, then they should be able to do it. To D2K's point, I do think there's some issues with developers not getting paid, not getting their money, but I think that is through publishers not owning up to their end. So it's not actually Microsoft, from my understanding, that's doing it. Is the publishers who publish the game, and then you have a third party developer, and then the publishers are not giving the kickbacks back down to the developers like they're supposed to, and that's where some of the disconnecting issues are coming from. And that's my understanding of the situation. So I see it both ways, right? I see that these can be a negative and a positive to the industry. When I look at stuff like, Disney Plus, right, and these streaming services and how they've all branched off from Netflix, right? And Netflix used to be the only guy in town. Now there's different versions of the Netflix type of thing with Disney and Peacock and HBO Max, and we're seeing a higher quality of content among a wider range of providers, right? So for the media standpoint, it's actually doing good. It's actually producing better quality TV shows and / movies that we were having when we just only had Netflix, right? And these places are producing movie quality content to be consumed in your living room and not on the big screen. So for movies, for content like that, entertainment, they found a way to do it without diluting the pool, kind of as D2K was alluding to, which I don't know if video games will be successful in the same vein, because you still only have three, right? You still only have Nintendo, Microsoft, and Sony doing it. You're not going to have. Well, you did have EA had their own, but that didn't work out. But they still have EA Access, which is similar, but it's a little bit different. So yeah, it is a possibility. I don't know if I fully agree with D2K's stance on it, but I do see where he's coming from, and I do understand that. So that's kind of my stance on the whole Game Pass. I think, like I said, Xbox is doing it better than everyone else. It is clear. My Sony fanism doesn't allow me to lie. I'm sorry, they're doing it better than everyone else. They have been for a while, and so that's my stance on it.
Okay, so Cape up there giving Microsoft the love. I'm gonna say I do agree with D2K. I didn't even think about that, but what you brought up, you brought a little bit more insight to what could actually be what's going on. Is more with the they company that's not giving them the money, not necessarily.
The publisher that they're working with a publisher like EA, or they're working with Ubisoft, and they're not the developers of EA. They're a third party developer.
Yeah, right. Yeah. K-Bum is the show enough in the avatar. Yeah, that's him, Mr. Wrap It Up himself. Anyway, so I might actually get a Shogun a little sample, put it up in here, but I don't want to keep us here much longer. So I'm gonna say. D2K made me rethink this, because at first I was like, yeah, I think they should, but I don't really, with the new games, maybe some of the games at least are doing like what Disney does and HBO. Well, Disney does this, like if they're gonna put a movie that's in the theater at the same time, they ask for a premium. Like you want to have access to that, you can pay $30 instead of going out and paying $50-something for the game. You could pay $20 to get that game early, and then you have it through the duration. Then before they make it available to everybody else, maybe 5-6 months later, and it'll be in the play anytime you want to, if you paying for that subscription. But if you want the games that come out day and date with the new releases, you might pay a little bit extra or something like that. But I definitely agree with you, D2K. They should definitely have all the games prior to that generation available for like, okay, Nintendo has their online offering for $20. If you're gonna give me everything, GameCube, N64, Wii, Wii U, all the way back, maybe not Wii U, but everything, because they basically all the games I got on the Wii U, I got on the Switch now. It's sad. But anyway, everything Wii and back, I have access to for, let's say you put it up to $30. I think that's worth it. They still need to fix the online, but that's definitely worth what they're doing, and it'll be Game Pass S. But it don't have to be exactly what Microsoft is doing. The same with what K-Bum said with Sony. I would say Sony does have their own type of this, because there is a lot of games that I played on. I played Bloodborne, never played it. I played it on there because it was free for me to play. There's several games that I played on my PlayStation that I didn't play before. What's that game where the kid and the dragon? It took a long time.
Last Guardian.
I played that on there. So yeah. So I think Microsoft is doing the best, but and we won't talk about this right now because I want to end here. I want to end right at 140. I don't know if they'd be able to sustain Game Pass as more and more their new games coming out and being available, and you only paying what? I think the Game Pass only costs what, $60-something? Is it? Am I mistaken on that? How much does the Game Pass cost?
I paid $15 because I got somehow I got the Xbox version too, and I don't have an Xbox in my house. But
so you pay $15 a month? You pay $15 a month?
Yeah, I pay $15. Somehow.
So can you play just yearly? What would it cost yearly then? About $100 or something?
Oh man, I gotta do.
They making money.
I might do the calculations for me, please. Calculate.
Ooh, they making the monies. Jesus.
3, 2, 1.
They making money, but you gotta consider these games are expensive though.
Yeah, but I mean, if let's say, I guess they the math they doing, if they can get, let's say they can get 7 million people to do this monthly or yearly, like XM Radio, that's every year you getting that. No matter what's out, what game comes out, you getting that every year. You guaranteed what, 400-500 mil? That's a lot of money, man.
Hey, Netflix got it, and they still in debt and raising the prescription prices. So
okay,
let's put that out there.
Just pour water all on my little excitement. All right, well, with that being said, K-Bum on through salt in the wound. I feel like we've been here long enough for tonight. Oh, there it is. It popped back up. Can y'all hear us? I don't know what happened. Let me get us back over here.
It's about to get live. We keep it pretty level.
I apologize, y'all. I'm gonna fix this thing, but yeah, the thing came back up. Let me go back over here. Can y'all hear us? I hope y'all hear us. I hope they can hear us. If you can hear us, put a 1 in the chat room because I can't see our avatars. But we finna get out of here. So put a 1 up in the. Can you hear me, K-Bum?
Yeah, they can. You can hear us. Your music's playing.
Yeah, I know the music is playing. Is it loud? Do I need to turn it down? Well, let me not, because I can't gauge it.
No, we should be good.
All right, cool. So, all right, so we thank y'all for tuning in tonight. He said loud. 1, okay. So y'all tune in next week, but I would say, K-Bum, you brought up again. I don't know if they can sustain it. I don't know if this is sustainable. I really don't. I don't know if Microsoft gonna be. I think their ambition to get out from behind Sony had made them do some things because they are Microsoft and they can eat the loss a little bit. But I don't see, and we saw they had to recant on what they tried to do because they tried to bump that price up. And that outrage made them go right back down. So I think Microsoft even knows, y'all have really made me rethink that thing. As dope as Game Pass is, it's not sustainable. It really isn't. So enjoy it while the enjoying is good, because they're going to eventually make you really pay for that. Now, you said Netflix is having an issue. I think Netflix hurt because Disney pulled all their stuff off. Do you think that's what it was?
No. Okay. They were in debt beforehand. It's because they're being ambitious with the money they're giving out, making these Netflix type movies, and so they're giving out a lot of money to the creators.
So it's not necessarily that if they just stay with their normal setup that they would be in debt. So it's really them trying to make original straight to exclusive Netflix movies.
Well, they know they have to compete with everyone else though. That's the thing.
Yeah,
is that they can't just
Disney.
They can't do status quo when you have to compete with people putting out movies on their digital platform. So
Disney is dirty, boy.
I got some. Here you go. It says since 2011, Netflix has raised $15 billion in debt to help for this content. So they had to raise money just to help for their content. They said they got $8 billion on hand though.
They doing good. Well, we'll see. We'll see, Microsoft. But I'm saluting y'all. I just felt like we ain't shown Microsoft love in a long time. And I really had to rethink and look at Gamepass. I was like, you know what? That is a dope service. It might not appeal to me because I like a lot of new stuff. But Nintendo, I probably not. I wouldn't play much past. For me right now, I probably wouldn't play much past GameCube. I'm just gonna be honest with you. N64 game. Go ahead. What'd you say?
I was gonna say when the last time you bought Super Mario Brothers, Super Mario 64, Super Mario World.
I have. That's my point. I have it. That's my thing. I would buy a lot of stuff on the GameCube though. I buy a lot of stuff on the GameCube. And
salty.
I'll buy Def Jam Vendetta and Def Jam Fight from New York. I'll buy all that stuff now. That stuff still look good. I'll buy Metroid Prime, the original. I still play that. But anything past that I probably wouldn't be interested in because of visuals, not because the game wasn't good. Even though I still think Ocarina of Time probably should have won out. That's my opinion. But God of War Kratos, you get it. All right, so, but we're going to be back next week.
Yeah, you never did ask us who we thought should have won.
Who you think should have won? Each person. Then we got real quick. Wrap it up. Come on, let's go. K-Bomb, who did you think should have won?
I brought it up, so I quickly say mine. I still think, just off the top of my head, I still say The Witcher 3 was probably the greatest game, one of the greatest games I've ever played. So I'll put that as the one that should have won. So
okay.
I'll leave it at that.
Okay. Wrap it up. Took too long, man. You should have had that out way faster than that. No, anyway. Keith, which one should have won, bro?
Woo. See, I put more hours in Witcher than I did Breath of the Wild, believe it or not. But I might have to go with Witcher. No, I'm gonna go with Breath of the Wild.
Okay. D2K, which one, even if it wasn't in the list, what game you think should have won? Ocarina of Time. Woo! D2K,
he went there.
I'm torn between Ocarina of Time and Breath of the Wild. Because they both gave me similar ahs. But because of the end of Breath of the Wild, I might have to go with Ocarina of Time. Because Breath of the Wild just didn't conclude right. If it would have concluded right, it would be Breath of the Wild. But I'm with D2K. I'm gonna say Ocarina of Time. There's no game that has hit me as hard as Ocarina of Time from beginning to end. That game was immaculate. Yes, I love how it ended. It was good all the way through. Whereas Breath of the Wild, it was dope until the end. Until you got to see Calamity. And we starting a whole nother podcast. We out of here. So, you see us next week. Same place, same time. Till then, y'all be blessed. Stay safe. And, we out. Peace.